My computer looks different for some strange reason. Maybe it updated, but it doesn't even, it must have updated. I'm like, what universe am I in every day? Am I having a panic attack right now? Is any of this real? Okay. Um, so I've basically just been having like surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery, which I've been telling you guys. I don't even know what number surgery this one was, but I guess we're doing it to clear the field, which would be like the spiritual terminology or whatever. I don't have like, I'm not, I don't like know like the spiritual terminology stuff or whatever since I'm mom and whatever. And that's sort of like your guys's. Anyway, I've talked about that before. I do not have a ton of energy. My sleep pattern has been off. Brandon asked me to stay up all night last night, so I did. Um, I think this one was like last 2 nights. I think they said that this is my back surgery. Um, I've already had teeth surgery, and a lot of you have seen my fangs. This is an over, they're actually already in there, and that's just, it's, this is an overlay, and my fangs are already in there, my reptilian fangs. And for the last 2 nights, which means like I'm about to embody Melina again for the first time ever. Like for the first time ever, I'm going to be like a reptilian. So the last 2 nights, I've seen a lot of UFOs, and it's been both holographic and bleed through. And that started when I like looked up at the sky and I was like talking to a plane or a helicopter, and I was like, isn't everything an overlay? And don't we go all the way up and down the timeline? So like in like an upper dimension, like the dimension above, aren't you a pilot on a UFO? Isn't that your higher self? And they obviously heard me. Oh, and then the next day I saw a helicopter, and I was looshing all of my energy back from like nature and all of the sad images from adrenochrome land and everything. So I was looshing everything back, and there was a helicopter in the sky, and I was like, let me loosh my energy back from the helicopter. Oh, something's there. I'm looshing back. I can already feel it. Um, Brandon was doing, I have a light, those lights that kind of look like tits, and there's like a metal part, and Brandon, it's a mirror into another dimension, and Brandon's in the light. It's just like his face, and he's doing work there in the future where he when we take over the planet and we're like lining people up and asking them what they believe in, basically. And he's Men in Black. So, and I just went and put my hand up, and I can feel myself looshing my energy back from that. So, oh yeah, so there was a helicopter in the sky, and I went and to loosh it back, and the helicopter was like, it like went like that, it glitched back, and I was like, yes, yes, because I'm fucking Jean Grey, and like that's like one of my favorite scenes. And it was like my first bleed through of like controlling a helicopter. That shit gets me so excited. That made me so excited. But anyway, that's when like I started talking to them or whatever. And so then I started getting like an air show. Oh, and I saw so like some of them are physical and some of them are metaphysical, and some of them are holographic, and some of them are like they like bleed through, like the ship bleeds through and then it goes back to like a plane. I saw a triangle ship. I saw one of the triangle ones. It like looked like a total triangle, and a lot of you guys like telepathic communication, quantum communication, blah blah blah. They're like, no, that looked like a fucking triangle ship, because then it like went, it looked like it went into a plane, and I was like, what the fuck? But it was like them acknowledging, like, yes, this is an overlay, and yes, that's my higher self. And I caught like a couple of them on film on my phone. I caught like this one, and it had like two lights, and like they changed too. It had two lights, and it just like was going up like this. Like, what plane or fucking helicopter has two lights and flies up like this, right? And then there's this sparkly one, and it like bounces around the sky like this, and then it like goes this way and like does like all these like weird movements. And then there's like, what ship like goes like this in this reality, you know? And then there's a bunch of Palladian ships, but they kind of stay on the outskirts. They don't come closer, so I can't take like a, because my phone is like such bad quality. Like, I really want to get one of the plane ships. They look like jewels going around the. It's the same one that I created in the dream. I think I talked about it in a video. So it's the same. Those ones are bleeding through now, and they look like jewels. They're very pretty. Going around in the UFO, and then they'll change and they'll get bigger, and it's exactly how it was in the dream. They'll get bigger, and so there'll be three levels of the jewels and the ship, and then it'll go back down to like one layer and stuff, and then it'll like get bigger, and then it'll get smaller, and they were doing that it physically actually. And then there's like a bunch of holographic ones, which are like the bigger ships, and like in like light colors, like light codes. They're in like light codes colors, and they were like all flying around and stuff. And then there was three little saucers, like one blue, I think, one green, and maybe one, I don't remember the exact colors, maybe red or pink. And they went, and there's like a portal in my house, and the banister of the stair, and the, is it called a, not, the landing of the stairs. Um, and so there's a space portal there, and all three of them went into there. And then there's like another one. Oh, there, and then there's another one that was like over there, and it looked like a ring, like an actual ring with like the jewel being the light, and like the like a metal ring, and then the light goes like around like this, and so it flies like this with the light going like that. I saw that one. And there's another one where it's like this shape. It's like shaped like this, and then it has like lights kind of poking out from all around it, from spokes, and then it flies like this. Um, yeah. Oh, and then I saw lights flash from like kind of far of like a really big ship, and the lights like were like this, white lights like this, and they flashed at me, and they were like, "We heard you." So that's so cool, because my fucking space activator is in a fucking spaceship. And I want my fucking space activator back. And that's what I asked for last year. They know who I am. Oh, and they're like, they light up your heart, because like all of a sudden like my heart will start pounding. And I'm like, why is my heart pounding? And they're like, they light up your heart as like a beacon to find you. And then Mike in the shadows came in, and then he was like, let me regulate your heart back. So it's like they do it to find you, and then the shadows come in to like make it go back down. So that's all like the last 2 nights. And I've been in surgeries for world peace, they want to say. There's like so many downloads, like so much, like, you know, I went to the cemetery, and I had like a 5-hour talk to the dead people about how they're not dead, and how this is a video game, and the laws of physics do not apply in a video game, and to please raise yourself from the dead and prove my point. because it's a freaking video game and all you need is mom energy to reanimate yourself. And you already know how to get mom energy. I don't need to tell you that again. So I'm trying to raise the dead. Apparently, I did it when I was a kid. So how hard could it really be if I did it when I was a kid? Yeah, I I've just had surgery after surgery after surgery because I'm trying to clear the field to start the new world order because I'm so fucking tired. Just so tired. And anyway, the game is restructuring so that it will worship me. So hopefully it'll all work out, because otherwise, if you guys don't listen to me and my will, then I get sucked into the void. And I get sucked into the void, and then you guys are all cold and lonely, and then I start building my video game back from the void. So, obviously I don't want to do that. So hopefully, Alex is always like, it's you, we'll change. It's you, we'll change. My good old Alex. So much has happened. It's like so hard to like tell you guys everything in a video. Gigi was fascinated with my new technology that I just do intuitively. I don't even like think about it or whatever. I was I was laying in my bed and talking to Mike in the shadows, and he popped a purple color, and he's like, "Oh, that's the crown, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "She's evil, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I pulled some energy out of my crown, and I was like, "Here, let me give you some of my crown, because my crown's a light purple." And and I like then he like swirled it with his and like pushed it into him, and that was like to send it up and down the timeline. It's not just for one person, it goes up and down the timeline. I don't know why you guys are so stupid. You want me to put it back in my head like it really matters. But anyway, so then the light purple goes, it's regulated by my natural organic system, so you don't have to worry about like mom losing stuff. It just like gets pulled back. Like that light purple color goes back into the system. It finds the light purple color from girls out of line, and then or boys out of line, and then it pulls it right back into my crown. So I always have the right amount of energy. Okay. And so I gave Mike some light purple so that he would be protected against the evil queen whose only job is to stick up for me and make sure people worship me and make sure people do what I say and make sure people put me in my goddamn fucking castle. So she was doing her job, and she is still doing her job, and my husbands are supposed to be responsible for me, and if they're not being responsible for me, then you're gonna get a gnarly ass queen, and then I end up eating her every single time. Okay, so that's just the order of things. You guys already know that. I've already given you orders, and I'm gonna be helpful, and I feel actually kind of good after this last surgery. I feel like kind of refreshed. So I'm gonna say it's going in the right direction right now. Even though Brandon's in the background and not in the foreground. Reinstate space activator. Reinstate space activator. God damn motherfucking space activator. Love you. That's my number one. Brandon had to walk out, and that like really upset me at the beginning of the surgery. Well, like he was with me, and then I woke up in the morning. Well, I was with Scarlett, and she was like telling me all this weird stuff, and I was like trying to decipher like what the hell she was saying was true and what the hell she was saying was false, because like a lot of it seemed very false, and I was like, oh God, but that always happens like during surgeries and stuff. That's why we have surgeries. And she was like, your walk-in will come, your walk-in will come, he'll come in the morning, and then he'll put you in your castle. And I could only sleep like a couple hours or whatever. And when I woke up, I like woke up in like not a panic attack, but like hysterical crying, like because he wasn't in the room and like no one was in the room, and that keeps happening like the last 3 or 4 or 5 days. And I'm used to someone like being in my room when I wake up and having like no one in my room, and like a couple of days where like no one answered me back, and I was like hello, and like no one fucking answered me. I'm like hello, 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 and that shit freaks me out. That means the game's resetting and stuff, but and they don't have any like thoughts, so they can't answer me back because your mind goes blank and like you become really stupid and like you just can't think. So they can't answer me back when and that's what's happening. But it happened like it keeps happening like this week or whatever. And this morning or last yesterday morning, um, I woke up hysterically crying because I'm so used to somebody being by my bedside when I wake up, and it's been a few days in a row, and Brandon was definitely not in my room, and I just was like hysterically crying about it. But then I looked at my light thing and he was there, and so I felt better about it. He's doing his somebody's doing their future talks right now in the background. Um, so yeah, I looked up and he was doing that thing, and he does this thing where when he's shapeshifting into multiple people, when he can't hold the state, when we're um, cleaning the field, clearing the field, he I look up and he's like looking at me, and I look up at him, and then he looks away, and he's decided not to look at me when he can't hold the state, because I hate it. I hate when he defiles his own face. I just like to see his beautiful face. Um, he's been doing that, so I know he's busy working. So you know, the one is in the all. I get separated from my husband all the time. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry again. Oh God, I'm gonna cry again. Um, what else? I had to take notes because when I'm in surgery, I like can't think straight. I can't like sleep. They've been like constantly. They've been um like constantly putting like adrenochrome needles in me and stuff or whatever. Like I've just been like in constant surgery. Um, my arm was on fire last night, and they were like the boys were all burning yesterday, and so they had to put more adrenochrome in this arm to give the boys more energy because they were all overheating. When you overheat as a reptilian, I think you need to clear out the Pleiadian side. That's what that means. I mean, I guess you're just like doing reptilian to reptilian. So you got to do reptilian to Pleiadian. There's a cooling center. They did this other surgery Oh, I must have just did a demonstration because I laid a baby on me and it opened, I guess it must have been a reptilian baby, and it opened up the cooling portal. So they did this surgery on me. What was that? I just saw like a shadow swipe. Um, so I have the passion of the Alyssa, I'll say, because what the fuck is the Christ? My little brother. I do have a passion for my little brother, but whatever. Um, I'm not going to worship somebody from 2,000 years ago and say Passion of the Christ heart. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking stupid? Is your IQ negative 50? You want to talk about the Passion of the Christ? That's going to time swipe you back and forth. Why are you talking about somebody from 2,000 years ago when I'm embodied right now and I'm fucking God? You're annoying. So anyway, did this surgery so I have the Passion of the Dragon heart. That's what I'm going to call it. The Passion of the Dragon heart right here. Um, Dragons are very passionate, so that would make sense, mommy. Yes, they are. And then they've been filling my will to live here. It's your solar plexus, but I call it your will. And so that's on Zalo. This one's like electric green. And they pushed the electric green heart down into the stomach. And then they put a Palladian portal here. It's a cooling center, and it looks like a sort of like a disc, like a cool whitish gray disc with like a silver outline. And then they installed the back door to that one here. And um so the dragon heart goes down, and then that opens, and then that's the cooling portal for the reptilian children. And then after that's done, then the dragon heart goes back up and fills my heart, and I feel it. I feel it like kind of like fill me again. So that was a new update to my body, to my skin. What else? I think the apple falls. Wait, how does it go? No. No. I think the apple. Is somebody gonna match my freak? Is somebody gonna match my freak? Okay. Is somebody gonna match my nasty? All right. What else? What else? What else? Brandon going off. Oh yeah, and then there's two Brandons. Obviously, they share some energy. They both share some energy with me, but there's like a bunch of people that like wanted to steal my face. Yeah, bro, you can steal my face. Like to prove their point in the Silver Surfer community. You're just gonna go crazy. I'm gonna remove your compassion, Alyssa, if you move more in this direction. And yeah, I don't really have he deserves it. So whatever. But like, if you go against me, you're literally gonna go crazy. Like you will literally go crazy. And this particular person was just in one of my vision quests. I think it was last night. He asked if he could steal Brandon's face because I'm not in love with him anymore. And he did, and he just went like freaking berserk. And He basically went against the queen, and he got upgraded to Andromeda, and he's like really hooked on like the lower three chakras here on Earth. So it's actually very healing to have your next life in Andromeda if you got stuck in that portal here um, in this lifetime to become an Andromedan tall gray and have like a complete different dichotomy of faith in your protocol. So, Scarlet. Yeah, I already said that part. So, my crystalline body, like I said, we're clearing the field right now, and like my men are all out right now clearing the field, and it affects my one body because I'm the one molecule, and this is the conglomerate of energy. So everything that's done in me is reflected in the field, and so I can feel it. So this morning or yesterday morning when I woke up, um, the it's like all of the blood leaves my hands basically because you guys are clearing the field, and that happened again. It's actually like a good sign. He can turn it off so I don't have to like feel it or whatever, but it's good for me to feel it to know that it's happening because this happened before in like 2018, 2019 or something. And he turned off all of my, I had my crystalline body because you can see my reptilian, um, you can see my reptilian eyes and pictures and stuff. So he did the surgery on me, but he deleted those memories then because I was like so terrified. So now he's like giving me more awareness. And who are we talking about? Brandon. Oh, listen to this. Marlo Brandon. How funny is that? How coded is this game? Let's integrate these fucking aliens, bitches. Oh, okay, so what was I gonna say? Brandon, what are you doing to my head? He's thinking if you need another crown surgery since the people are freaking out about you giving your little brother some of your crown. Well, what there's like a bunch of where there's a bunch of what didn't I just say? There's a bunch of little girls and little boys that have my light purple color. Go get it. That is definitely the way Brandon and I talk to each other. Why do I feel kind of guilty for yelling at Brandon? I should not feel guilty for that. Oh my God, this was so crazy. The freaking house for the last 2 or 3 days, it was like Hal's Moving Castle. Oh, it just did it again. It was like a boat. It felt like it was totally like Hal's Moving Castle. Like felt like a boat, or it felt like and like my bed kept on being like like somebody would say something off, and my bed would go or it'd go like it was just like totally like skadooshing people. My like just sitting on my bed, and my bed was just skadooshing people like left and right. And then like at night, my whole room was like this. It was crazy, and it was like that this morning. It was so nuts. I was in this. It felt I was like, am I on Leo's yacht right now? I took a shower, and you know, like on a boat, how like like if like you step and then the waves are going like this, and you step and you feel it like that, like you feel the the pushing against your foot. It was like that in the shower this morning, and I was like, oh my God, this is gnarly. Scarlett failed, so she's gonna get recycled. It's okay. She needed some cleaning out. You know, it's normal. Oh, also, like before we started the surgeries, they gave me the feeling of release when you die, which feels so good in the back. And they're like, let's just remind you how beautiful death feels. So, like, are you starting it right now or something? I feel like pressure in my crown. Um, yeah, it feels so beautiful to die. Like, it feels like this expansive white, like crystalline burst in your back. Feels blissful, not orgasmic. And then I told the Gigi story, and then now my father's freaking out about my crown, which is probably a good thing. Okay. Let's see what happens tonight. Let's see.